Okay, y'all. So I'm not through earning. You know it. I'm not through earning. It's load the skid steer up on the trailer and take it over there and get that tree up I showed y'all earlier today. So uh, $250 more on the day. That's going to be nice. And I know there's a lot of people that say I wouldn't take my skid steer nowhere for $250. Well, I will. So it's 4:23, y'all. So let's see how long it takes me to get this 250. Load up to load off. Right? And I'm gonna take the camera with me, so yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all see Chucky back there? We'll go over here and get this $250 real quick. It's 4:35 right now, so we'll see what time it is when I head back. I mean, it's right here. I mean, I started not to even load the machine up, but I didn't really want to, drive the machine this far. Yeah, and this is the kind of thing that you can do when you got guys that'll help you with the work during the day. Then I can do things like this in my spare time because I feel like it. If I'm out here solo all the time, I mean, there's no way that I could have even got all that work done today without Zach. And also, I wouldn't have made the $980, and then I wouldn't have made this other $250 either. You see, so solo has its perks, but for the way I've built this business over the years, it's pretty dependent on help. I mean, at the end of the day, that's you hate to say it like that, but that's the truth, man. But all businesses are dependent on help, on labor, the labor force. But I'll park on up here right next to the easement on the side of the road. No harm, no foul. And I'm not having to drive across his driveway. None of that Bermuda, and none of his grass or anything. You got to be thinking like that if you're doing this kind of thing. You don't want to tear nothing up, and you don't want to tear the ground up if you don't, it's not worthy of all that. So y'all see the property's right. It's the second house right there. There's a gravel driveway that goes up to this field that I cut in the back. So yeah. Okay, y'all, let's get this 250. I wouldn't know how to do this and know what the machine can do if I wasn't over the bamboo site doing all this stuff with a cheat sheet. So then we'll just push the dirt back in the hole, right? Stuff like this is you want the minimal impact on the ground. You see all around, that's what you want. You don't want to tear up all the ground. So now what I'll do is I'll pull forward with the machine and I'll set the camera here so I can grab it without having to get out of the machine, and I'm just going to drive over that and flatten it down. That clock ain't wrong. There we go, y'all. That's 75.3 doing work. All right, y'all. Yep. 5 minutes after 5, y'all. So another reason why I went on and decided to do this tree for the 250, well, I'm going to throw it on my dump trailer. So, you know, along with all that other stuff I got from the other job. So, I mean, I'll make one cut with the chainsaw, and yeah, you gotta love it, man. I do. That beats mowing. I mean, for me to make $250 mowing, I'm going to work probably at least I mean, at least 2 hours, at least. And I'm going to have to do a lot more work because you're going to have to be moving around. You're going to have to, because most yards don't pay $125. There's some that do. I'd rather do this for $250 than 2 yards for $125 each, because I got to travel to the yards. See, every job's a little bit different, man. It's according to how far it is from my house. That's a big deal. So now what we'll do is I'll back this thing right back up in there, pull it off, throw the tree on the dump trailer, and get ready to go to the dump whenever, the next rainy day. I mean, come on, man. I love it, man. I mean, if you could just do, man, if you could just do 3 jobs like that every day, that would be freaking awesome. But that's the thing about skid steer work for me right now anyway. It's not as consistent as the mowing and the other stuff. So, but I'm learning, right? I'm trying. I'm chasing every dollar that I can with it. I'm making every dollar that I can, that I got time for, that I'm capable of getting at this point, you know. I'm just stoked, man. And you know, nothing went wrong. That's always a factor, man, because you could tear something up. I didn't even tear the ground up at all. Y'all saw that, man. That's some straight gangster shit right there, y'all. That's straight G at its best. International, y'all. So I had the all-around wannabe guy, whatever his name is, come in the comments and said, man, I wouldn't have bought no stump grinder. I would have bought me a forestry mulcher. It can do more than a stump grinder. But you're wrong. It can't. It's according to what you're trying to do. A forestry mulcher is not going to get a stump in somebody's yard, and it's not going to take it below grade either. I mean, and number one reason why, just so everybody knows, number one reason why I haven't invested in a forestry mulcher is that this machine, the high flow, is only 29.8 gallons per minute. That is not enough flow to run one like I want to run one. For me, I said me, to justify, you know, a $25,000, $35,000 mulching head. This machine will not. It'll push one. Don't get me wrong, but it's not going to push one like, you know, a 40 GPM. And I feel like if you're doing forestry mulching, that I want to be able to do it, because I mean, the cutters are so expensive. You don't want to get out there and the machine be underpowered. I mean, 75 horsepower is enough power, but the hydraulic is what's the important part. Just so you know, now what I'll do is I'll unload it off of here and I'll put it on that trailer right there. Next man. Job done. $250 in my pocket on top of $980. What's $980 and $250? I'll tell you. But anyway, so like I was saying, that guy keeps coming in the comments and he's always, well, he makes himself look stupid, you know. I think his comment is something like, you made a mistake buying a stump grinder, which you should have bought. And this is coming from somebody that ain't even in business for themselves. I know, I mean, dude, don't you, I mean, are you so dense that you don't see the perpetual preparedness that I am? I don't do anything just because. If it was indeed a better buy to buy a forestry mulcher, that's what I would have bought. And you got to ask yourself, when you're standing on the sidelines, what is he thinking about, right? You got to ask yourself, why would he, you know, not buy a mulcher? And I'm going to tell you why right now. Number one reason is, though my machine will run one, it's not going to run it like I want it to run it. Not worthy of the kind of money that a good mulcher head costs. And that's the number one reason. It'll run it though, but I don't like having underpowered things. I want to overwhelm things with power. That's why I buy the best lawnmowers money can buy. I buy the best everything, because I want it to be overwhelmingly violent. Number two reason why I buy a stump grinder instead of a forestry mulcher, I mean, the difference is so obvious to anybody who's got any sense. A forestry mulcher doesn't go below grade. I mean, unless you're going to make the below grade, you know, it'll grind a stump down to grade. But I got a stump grinder, and only I would know some of the other things. And you got to trust that I got my best interest at heart when I buy $10,000 pieces of equipment for the skid steer. I don't just lackadaisically go by. So before you come in the comments, dude, please check yourself, man. Make sure it ain't something just so obvious that it's obvious. You don't look at the person here. You can't get past, I make this shit look easy, so obviously I don't know what I'm doing or whatever. I don't know. But every move I make, it ain't nothing just because. Every move I make is, there's a valid reason for every move I make, good and bad. I wouldn't buy a forestry mulcher for a whole bunch of reasons. Number one being, my machine won't run it like I want it to. They'll tell you it will, but see, I know it won't, because I have had these machines long enough, and I know enough people that's got them to know that, hey, if you're going to do forestry mulching, Ray, you need to get on up to 95 horsepower machine with a 40 horsepower with 40 GPM minimum. So, and like I said in the comment, if you don't know what that means, then you don't need to be commenting on things you don't know nothing about. And that's what you do. You tend to want to comment and you don't really know anything about what you're saying. What's the difference in a stump grinder and a forestry mulcher? There's a huge difference. I mean, it ain't even, yeah, forestry mulcher's better, Ray. Not necessarily, because you don't know how many stumps I've turned on to the guy down the street that's got a stump grinder in the last 2 years. How many stumps I've turned in thousands and thousands of dollars worth of work that he's gotten when if I had a stump grinder, I would have got it. And I know that. So, just know this from watching the channel and the moves that you see me make. Don't assume that I'm doing anything just because I can. Everything I do is predicated on research and experience and my belief in what it will do. So if you're going to comment, again, if you're going to comment, come with something and you want to go against what I'm doing or saying in the video, that's fine. I love it. But don't make yourself look stupid. Come on, man. I mean, you make yourself look just straight dumb. You know? Anyway, I gotta unload. That's all. I'm gonna shut the video off. I gotta find my damn other cup, man. I don't know where the hell the other cup went, man.